Okay.
This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, here on September the 26th, 2022. And folks, I'm a co-producer on Victim No More. Look, I got the beanie on, I got the shirt on, my guest has the shirt on. There you go. And folks, I have one of the victims. Speaking of Victim No More, I got one of the victims who should have known better than to go into the woods.
That's not her fault.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I stand very much with that opinion that she did not know anything about anything. She literally just went to the woods to appease her dumb true crime boyfriend and then ended up dying anyway.
Okay, we'll have to talk to Bobby Heckman in detail about that. But
Yeah.
folks,
I stand for my character. I'm sorry. I stand for my character.
well, folks, I give you the very lovely Deana Naja. How do you do, Deana?
Deanna.
Deanna.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Deana.
No, it usually surprises people. The one N usually gets
Yeah.
them. Yeah, it's Deanna. It's fine.
Oh well. It's not the
It's
first.
all good.
There we go. Okay.
Not the first time, and it won't be the last.
Well, you know what? I'm happy to have you come on the show here today. I put this out to everybody from that film there that Bobby gave me contact. You were the one that responded. So I'm like, good, good.
Thanks for
Because
having me.
well, you know what? As I told Bobby, I said, your death scene was actually my favorite in the movie.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I'll get into why as we go along. But but nonetheless, uh, before get started on Victim No More, I'd like to get a little bit of your background and what led you to get into the arts.
Sorry, that was my doorbell. My start is a little, I guess, different than most theater actor people because I grew up not in that scene at all. I
Hmm.
was a competitive dancer my whole life. I was traveling all over the East Coast with my dance studio, winning competitions like first place, platinum awards, like whatever the top award thing was, my studio won it. So I'm very well rounded in dance, like tap, jazz, all that stuff. Then I graduated high school, graduated my competition team, and I went to college. And I didn't want to go to college for dance because I didn't want it to make dance not fun for me. So I was like, all right, I'll do liberal arts, be very vague about what I want to do. And then I saw a theater class, an acting class, and I was like, oh, well, I'm a dancer and acting is like in a similar family region. So I was like, acting shouldn't be that hard. Let's try it. I took acting, it kicked my ass. That whole class kicked my ass and I was sucking at it. And then in the middle of the semester, I like kicked it into gear, and I was like, I need to take this seriously. And I like finished that class with like all A's, and that really put things into perspective for me. I was like, wow, I want to act. That was really fun. And I took more acting classes at school after that. And then I changed majors to be a theater major. And then I graduated with a general theater degree, and that was in 2016. And then I kind of took a 3 year break. Not I took a 3 year break so I can just live and like get a
Hmm.
job and all that stuff. And then 2019 is when I kind of dipped into the Long Island theater scene. And yeah, and actually this new show that I'm in is my first time back in theater in the past 2 years due to the pandemic. So 2019 is where it all kicked off for me.
Well, you know what? Of course, you're part of Victim No More.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come to meet Bobby Heckman?
That's a fun story. So, as I said, I was in the theater scene in 2019, and the end of 2019, I was getting role after role in theater. So I went from one role, and then somebody recommended me for this show, and then I went to that show, and then somebody recommended me for another show, and I went to that show. And so in between all of those shows, my one friend came to see the show and was like, "Hey, I have a friend slash coworker, Bobby Heckman, and he's doing a movie and he is auditioning people, and like, do you want me to like connect you to him so you can try and be in his movie?" And I was like, yeah, I want to be in a movie. And so yeah, me and Bobby were connected through our mutual friend, and I think I might have been one of the first people to audition for Victim No More. And yeah, we auditioned. And funny enough, I actually moved into the apartment complex with Bobby. So Bobby's actually lives right across the hall from me. So I auditioned in our little courtyard over here for Victim No More.
So you're in the same building as him.
Yes, I am.
Oh
I
boy,
snuck my way in here.
I'm thinking of so many bad things right now. You know, like here on Zoom, Deana knocks on the door and then runs back into her apartment quick.
Just pranks on Bobby, just bothering him the whole time. That's my job.
My story about Bobby Heckman. I've been doing this show, this podcast part of my show anyway, since 2015. And I've done very close now to 600. Well, no, it's done over six. You're number 668 since 2015 in April. Yeah, I've gotten very good at this. And I remember reaching out and trying to get Kimberly back on the show from Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard back from Bobby Heckman, who
Yep.
often gets her in some of the cons.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very polite with me. He said, you know, Kimberly's very busy, which I've come to understand is true. And but I remember, you know, he wasn't a jerk to me. He was quite friendly. And um, when Victim No More came about, I got involved. I think it was based on the fact uh, that he was pretty cool with me, you know. So I got on board as a co-producer, and then I come to find out that, well, you know, I just turned 50 this year.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I turned 50. Would you like to know how old he is?
I've never asked him how old he is because he always makes fun of himself.
Yeah, the joke's on me. He's younger than me.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that by his crown, would you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. It's like, are you friggin' with me? Okay.
He does that. He looks older.
Well, I have my best friend here in Fredericton got gray early as well. So
Mm.
yeah, my best friend's only 5 years older than me, you know. But when I found out I was older than Bobby, I like, you gotta be shitting me.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, but nonetheless, I've kept in touch with him, and between the two of us, we both worked through the pandemic because I work as a cleaner. Actually, I work at the local hospital here
Hmm.
as a COVID cleaner. So, and I send Bobby a lot of texts, because if you've seen Friday the 13th, the final chapter, I always ask him if Axel is working tonight. And if you've seen that movie, you'll know the joke. But nonetheless, I've remained in touch, and he's been very supportive of me. And I told him when Victim No More comes out, I said, send some cast members to me because I think between me and Scotty McCoy, I don't know if you've done his show yet.
I'm scheduled with him in a few weeks.
He's great.
Yes.
He's been on my show 6 times himself, so you're in good hands there, let me tell you. But nonetheless, between me and Scotty, we're among the few. Like a lot of people like to go after the bigger names, you know, but And
Understandable.
well, I like going after the bigger names too, but I'm not a big name, so why should I elevate myself above other people?
Understandable.
You know, there you go. But I got Bobby sent me um the video of Victim No More, and because I'm a co-producer on 13 Fanboy as well, so
Mhm.
I already got my toe dipped in that kind of world anyway. But he sent me the online thing for Victim No More, and I watched it, and I had to get back to him because I was like, I was really the opening of it, like I don't know if you weren't in the opening scene, but you watched the movie,
Mhm.
yeah, did you notice, he's filming this beautiful shot of the outside of this building, and this guy with gray hair just wanders out of the building, like come on, have some respect for the shot, you know?
Very rude. Very
Yes.
rude.
Can you believe that?
Couldn't no. I was like, Bobby, what the hell is this? And Bobby was like, I don't know. I don't know. Couldn't get him off the
Yes.
shot.
Yes. Like, I mean, man, I was like, the guy just couldn't wait.
No.
Kind of reminds
Of
me of
course he
that.
couldn't.
Kind of reminds me of that shot in Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters. There's a street scene during a music montage, and you see in the background this hippie-looking guy just kind of doing a double take and looking like this. Apparently, that wasn't an actor. He was just somebody just happened to notice the filming, and they kept it in because it was so funny looking.
Those are the best scenes in film when it's not even an actor, it's just a random person in the street and they just do something weird. Those are the best shots.
Yep, and so I don't know who that guy was, but now he's cemented in Ghostbusters.
He's famous now.
Yep, yep. But nonetheless, I enjoyed Victim No More, and
Oh, great.
yeah, I did. And of course, you've got Bobby kind of. Oh, first I should ask, what is your experiences with Friday the 13th franchise? Have you watched them, uh, uh, or did you just go into this blindly?
Relatively blindly. I was that girl growing up. I was playing with Barbies and not getting into anything
Oh,
scary.
so was
Um,
Bobby.
yeah, I know. we talked about Barbies on the first day we met each other. It was great.
Did you call?
Um,
Did you call him Barbie happening?
Barbie, heck, no, I'm gonna text him that later. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Barbie, how's it going?" He's a Barbie girl,
Actually,
but
yeah.
sorry. But just to get this out, I didn't start getting into horror movies until much later in my life. So like the past few years. But slasher movies were never really something I was interested in because as you get older and you look at these old movies from the 80s, you're like, oh God, movies like this, they're so cringy. And then I got this role and I was like, I should probably watch some of the Friday the 13th movies. So I watched some of them, not all of them, but I watched most of the better ones and then a lot of the really bad ones. Like Jason X,
Oh,
Jason Goes to Hell. Those
Jason
are
X
so
was
funny.
horrible. Jason X is the worst one.
They're great to watch with friends. They're very funny when I watch them with friends.
So, what was your favorite one?
I don't want to say Jason X because that one made me laugh the hardest. But if I'm talking about making me laugh, it was Jason X because I did laugh a lot. But I did like the first one a lot. Obviously it was the first one, and Jason wasn't in it, but I liked that it was his mother because it's you're not expecting it to be his mother going. Well, I didn't really expect it going into it. So the first one really threw me for a loop when I first watched it.
My favorite, I think, is Jason Lives Part 6, and I think that was the most well done of the
Mm-hmm.
franchise. And but I think the scariest one and my second favorite is part 4 of the final chapter.
Hmm.
Yeah, and Ted White was my favorite Jason out of the bunch because
Yeah.
he really amped it up and he was great. But you got to remember the golden rule. For the most part, older movies are better than the newer ones.
Yeah. Yeah. All these remakes don't really do the old ones any justice.
Like if you're gonna
Usually.
watch Black Christmas, go with the 74 one for goodness sakes, or you're in for a massive disappointment.
Hmm.
Um, there's all kinds of I personally I love the love older movies, but you know what? 2022 has been a good year for horror
Mm.
because I saw X 4 times.
Hmm.
I saw Black Phone. I enjoyed that. Looking forward to Halloween Ends.
Hmm.
Um, by the way, the original Halloween, one of my all-time favorites. Speaking of older films,
Ah,
yeah. Um, and of course, Pearl was great. And of course, we got Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey coming up sometime there in the future.
whatever that movie's gonna be, yes.
Yeah, are you familiar with it?
I know of its existence, yes. It's gonna be interesting.
Yep. By the way, I got to point out, I'm a huge fan of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I noticed that picture behind you.
I love that movie.
I
I
love
also
that.
love The Thing.
The Thing is terrific too. That's an older movie.
That is an older movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch that also until recently, probably like last year I saw it.
Yeah, I
And yeah,
noticed,
I really like this movie.
and you got an older Star Wars poster, so you caught on that those older ones are better too.
Some older ones, I'll watch.
Yeah. You got to look at film. You got to put them into context of what it was at that time, and
Mhm.
yep, because I'm a huge Alfred Hitchcock fan.
Ah, yes.
Yep, and his movies um, changed the way I look at cinema. You know, but nonetheless, yeah, I know that Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I saw that in the theater when it came out.
I love that movie.
I
It's a
love
great
it
movie.
too. I would love to get an interview from it. I haven't yet,
Oh,
but I'm gonna keep pressing on it.
one day, one day.
Yeah. But the original Star Wars trilogy, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, I saw those at the drive-in theater when they came
That's
out.
cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm showing my age, but
It's fine.
Bobby's not showing his. I'll tell you that.
His hair's trying to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But nonetheless, can't believe you're in the same building as Bobby.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? He's the one that got me this apartment, basically. He was like, "Oh, we have an opening," and it's just conveniently the one right across the hall from him.
Jeepers, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, gee, should we pull a prank while you're going to Zoom?
He's not home, unfortunately, so it wouldn't even work. I mean, I can
Oh,
leave very aggressive notes under his door, but that's pretty much it.
just a second. No, I'm just going to send him a text here right now. Let him know we're talking. I'll even tell you what I'm saying to him. Okay. Okay. This is what I'm going to say to him.
Okay.
Bobbers, which is what Catherine Mary Stewart calls them, uh, on Zoom with Deana Naja as I text this this and she laughs as I do so.
He's gonna text me in the middle of this too and be like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah. I'm gonna say she has branded you with a new name. Barbie
Bar- Barbie Ekman.
Heckman. And
I gotta change his name on my phone to Barbie.
there you go. Too bad you're not home because the pranks
Would be
are
immense.
circulating. There you go. I just said that to
Hey, I'm gonna get a text. I'm gonna see it pop up on my screen.
him. Oh well. Anyway, nonetheless, yeah, that's funny you live in that same. Is that the building that's in the shot in the opening?
No, are the apartments that got nothing to do with the film.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
So what does Bobby have on his wall? Like you got some cool movie posters. He have like My Little Pony and Sailor Moon and what?
Uh, I love how we're talking about Bobby's apartment. Bobby's apartment is way more immense posters than mine. Like
Mm-hmm.
his all of his walls are posters. And his like when you first walk in, it's just shelves of movies. Whole bunch of movies. It literally goes from like the whole entire wall is just movies and a bunch of like action figures. I'm pretty sure all the movies are horror movies too. He's got a bunch of figurines, action figures of horror movie things. It's a horror fan's paradise, I think his apartment is.
Mm-hmm. Well, we need to
He's a
talk.
nerd. He's a big nerd.
Oh, I just heard back from him. Oh,
Oh, I'm so
okay.
excited.
Let's see what he says. Ha ha ha. Oh, geez. Ask her if she likes butterflies.
I don't. I don't. That's the whole thing about shooting is obviously we were shooting in the forest, so there's wildlife in the forest. And one of my most irrational fears is butterflies.
What?
So I don't know. It's like something that happened when I was a child. Butterflies scare the shit out of me. So anytime they flew by me in the wild, I'd like literally run in the other direction.
I'm
So
saying to
yes, I
him,
don't like them.
she is scared of butterflies.
Yup.
What the fuck?
So I don't know if you watched it, but I'm pretty sure it stems from this one SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob is going over Sandy's house to babysit her new pet, and the pet is a caterpillar,
Mm-hmm.
and the caterpillar more metamorphosizes into a butterfly. But instead of like a cartoon butterfly, they use like a real life footage of a butterfly, and they have horror music behind it, and it's like a close up shot of a
So,
butterfly. I was traumatized as a child. I hated it.
okay, I gotta tell Bobby this. She is telling a
I like
story
how you're my therapist right now.
of being traumatized by
A SpongeBob episode.
SpongeBob
A SpongeBob episode.
SquarePants. There we go. I
That's how my
had
first
no
interview is
idea.
going.
I had no idea. Yeah, you wait till I tell Scotty about this.
Oh, it's great. I can't wait for this to be in every interview I do. Great. I'm so excited.
Nonetheless, nonetheless, butterflies. Japers, I'd hate for you to encounter a friggin' bear in the woods. If a butterfly traumatizes you,
I
do you-
mean, obviously I know bears are a bad thing, but like I would not. I don't know. Bears are cute.
so are butterflies.
I don't find them cute. They're pretty. They got pretty colors if they're far away from me. I don't like them either.
What if you encounter a bear that has a butterfly land on its nose?
If it's far away from me, great. If it's right in front of me, I got problems. I
I
got
bet
some
you
issues.
I bet you Bobby's reading these texts thinking, "Jeepers, she's got problems."
I do. He knows this. I do. Do you,
Well,
wait, but speaking of bugs, I really want to mention this in an interview because it makes me laugh. But while we were filming, James, who plays Jason, he one of the days we were shooting and we didn't need Jason, he was assisting on set. And at this point, I didn't really know him very well, so I was polite with him and whatever. And we were in the woods, and I think I had saw like a worm on the ground. And bugs in general give me the ick. I don't like bugs. And so I saw it, and I was like, all right, I don't want to step on him. So I was like, oh look, it's a worm. James bent down, picked up the worm, and threw it at me. Threw it at my face. I screamed so loud. And from that moment on, I hated James. James was my enemy. And I bring that up to him to this day. And I'm like, dude, I hate you. You threw a worm at me. It was the most awful thing you could ever have done to me.
yeah, Bobby just sent 2 laugh emojis.
Yep. Yeah, bugs. Bugs are not my friend. I hate them. They scare me. I have anxiety. It's bad. I don't like them.
Okay, fair enough. You must really freak out in the thing when that head sprouts legs and lifts up like a spider.
Didn't like that part. What part wasn't great for me? Wasn't fun.
No?
That's why I can't watch The Fly. I can't watch that movie.
Well, I suppose you have nightmares at the thought of watching ants or A Bug's Life.
Eh, those are cartoon. I can handle
Listen,
those.
just listen, don't let them off the hook.
Fine. I won't watch those movies anymore. They're awful. Can't do it. Can't do it. Bugs suck. I hate them.
Yeah, I can't wait for Bobby to hear this.
Yeah, so yeah, this shot was great, especially with the ticks we had to deal with in the forest. There were ticks, there was just all bugs. I went home, went to therapy. It was great. It was a great time.
I guess you would be horrified if you were in that final anthology short story and creep show,
Uh,
the one involving all the maggots.
yeah, no. Mm-mm. No. I think I'd just pass out at that point. Just pass out or I die immediately. My soul would leave my body. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
I think Bobby Heckman should on Halloween should put it like some bugs on his door.
Don't give him
Maybe
any ideas.
or put some bugs on your door.
Don't give him any ideas because he would. He would. I would cry. I wouldn't be able to function.
You know
The
what?
moral of this interview: I don't like bugs. Don't like them.
You know what? You had a great death scene in the movie, you know. I was actually surprised that you went before the boyfriend did. That's
I
usually
have a
not.
weird theory on that.
Well, here's one thing I liked, um, because you're stuck there, and he just kind of just pulls the machete out,
Yep.
and you just slowly drop. Like I love that. I told Bobby, I said this was the death scene that really got me was that one. You know what? Um, and you sold that well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What happened? Did you see a butterfly and pass out?
Yeah, basically that was like my whole motivation. Very easy. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I've been told by people that like I'm good at playing dead because I mean, I guess it's like my dance background. I know how to utilize my body, and I guess like dropping dead is really not hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to obviously drop like 7 times, and I wasn't falling on the ground. I was falling onto like a mattress. But like with the safety of a mattress, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw all my weight down, and I hope I don't land on the ground. So I guess I'm just good at being dead. Bobby picked the right person to be a dead person.
Talk about setting that scene up, because obviously, you get a machete through you.
Yeah. So
Through a
the
door too, no doubt.
yes, that the actual filming of the stabbing and getting put in a door, that was one day, and then the taking out of the machete and falling down, that was a different day. But so the way it was maneuvered is we had, I believe, 3 different or 4 different machetes. Two, they were all dulled down, but one of them was broken in half and put so it could be put on me. I don't know how the work that went into it was. That was all James, who plays Jason, and Lindsay, who plays the Arrow Girl at the end. They worked on all the weapons and such, and they maneuvered a way for it to be strapped on me with like elastic and all that. So, and also it had like detachable parts. So when we filmed the actual stab thing, I just had the sharp part here and like, oh, dead, bleh, stab. And then when he stabbed me into the wall, we removed the front part and added the back part. And just Jason kept throwing me into the side of the house. Like literally like, pah! And I was like, oh. But that took probably an hour, 2 hours to like really get that whole thing down. But it was good. I had fun.
Talk about the gore effect.
Yeah, so the actual stabbing of Katie, obviously it wasn't me, because I wouldn't get actually stabbed. But so it was like a dummy that we had, and Ricky Vitus, who's a special effects artist, he's a genius when it comes to all of that kind of thing. He made a dummy that had my shirt and flannel on it, and it had a hole in it so that James could stab it, and that was like a one take thing we had to do. Otherwise, we couldn't really replicate it because there'd be blood everywhere and it would suck. So I'm pretty sure that one take was a shot in the movie where he stabs me. So we had a model dummy of my body, and then I would hang over it with my hands. And oh no, my hands are shaking. And obviously, I would spit out blood, which it didn't taste bad, but it didn't feel great in my mouth either. So every time they yelled cut, I'd be on the side of the house like, bleh, bleh, just getting it out of my mouth.
Well, you have to keep it together, because if you get butterflies, you're in very bad shape.
If butterflies start showing up, I'd be screwed. If Jason starts sending out butterflies, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's a problem.
That's what he should have
in.
used on you.
That would have been easy. Literally, Katie, in my opinion, is a pretty smart gal. So, like, if Katie knew that Jason was around, she'd be smart and, like, at least attempt to get away. But, like, if there was butterflies on the scene, all of my common sense goes out the window. Common sense gone. I'd be one of those dumb girls in those slasher movies. Like, oh, we have to go this way. We have to split up. That'd be me. I'd be dumb. I'd be stupid. All thought out the head. Really bad for me.
So you weren't a fan of the butterfly effect?
No, probably not. Wouldn't be. No, don't like the butterfly effect.
I can't wait for Bobby to hear this. Boy, the ideas I'm going to put in his head now.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell him my interview was me trauma dumping my butterfly fear on you. So excited.
Talk about work. I'm sorry, the name escapes me right now. The actor who played your fiance in the film,
Oh, Joe.
Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about working with him, because he seemed like a very fun guy.
Yes. So Joe. So when
Mhm.
we first met each other, it was me, Joe, and Hans, who plays Robbie. We all met each other for like the first initial cast meeting. And I had read the script at that point, and I walked up to Joe, a man who I had not met before, and I was like, "Hi, my name's Deanna. It's nice to meet you. By the way, I hope you know my character is like the top in our relationship, and she would peg your character." And Joe was like, "Whoa, that's a weird thing to say. I agree with you. We're gonna be best friends." And so we became like best friends immediately. And
And
yeah,
then
obviously I spent
and then he finds out you have a butterfly fear, and suddenly, you're not pegging anymore.
no, so all of a sudden the roles get reversed. It's all bad. It goes downhill for me. But obviously I spent all of my time with Joe in this movie, so we had a lot of time to just goof around and be dumb. And when speaking of bugs, there was at one day when I had a tick on my stomach, and I couldn't get it off, obviously, because it's a tick. So one of our bonding experiences was Joe kneeling at my stomach trying to get this tick off of me. And he was like literally in there, and he's like, "I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "It's okay, it's fine. This is what happened." Yeah, Joe's a really funny guy. I loved working with him. He's so much taller than I am, so every time we were looking at each other, I was like, "Hi." He's a great guy. I love him. I miss him. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, and of course, you've got some genre people in this as well. Jill Whitlow, of course, was announced early for this film from Night
Mm-hmm.
of the Creeps.
Yep.
Yep. Did you get to meet her?
No, I didn't get to meet her, unfortunately, because obviously she worked with Hans Robbie, so they worked on different days than me
Mm-hmm.
and Joe. So I personally haven't met her yet. I do hope in the Victim No More stuff we get to meet each other, because she seems so nice, and I love watching her as a therapist. So one day I'd like to, but not yet.
I haven't had her on here yet. Um, I have had Catherine Mary Stewart on here a couple times, so
I
you
love
know,
Kathy.
yeah, yeah, I bugged the shit out of her over that musical, The Apple. One of those so horrendously bad it's good movies.
We love those kinds of movies.
Yep, yep. And of course, she was in Night of the Comet as well, and
Mhm.
yep, and Weekend at Bernie's, and now the movie is out, we can now officially talk about her. So I know I signed an NDA up until its release, so
Mhm.
but this of course will be private for or unlisted on YouTube for a while, so I think we're good. But nonetheless, talk about Catherine Mary Stewart.
I love Catherine Mary Stewart. So before, so when we were going to film the campground scenes, we all stayed at the counselor's cabin. It was like an Airbnb, and it
Mm-hmm.
literally looked like it was from the 80s. Like it hasn't been touched since the 80s. Like there was no air conditioning. There was like a VHS player. There was like 20 rooms. All of them were bunk beds. The bathrooms looked like shit. It was like legitimately out of the 80s. And so we get there. I got there before everyone else was at like dinner or something, and I got there early, and everyone came back. And me, I grew up in the 90s, so I didn't really see a lot of the 80s movies. So I didn't know who she was at first. So I was just being introduced to people. I was like, "Hi, how are you?" I introduced myself, and she introduced herself, and don't know who she is. And then we were watching Weekend at Bernie's, and I was like, "Oh, I have never seen this movie." And they were like, "Oh, Catherine's in this movie." And I was like, "No way." And I'm watching her scene, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And Weekend at Bernie's was actually one of my grandfather's favorite films. And I was like, "This is crazy." And the next morning we're filming, and Catherine Mary Stewart was there the whole time. Even though she like wasn't needed on set, it wasn't her day to shoot or anything. She was there like literally the whole day. And we called her set mom the whole time, because anything that we needed she got us lunch. She was giving Bobby like advice on some of the shots. She would give advice on certain scenes. Like she would be like, "Oh, like Deanna, Joe, like when you come into the cabin, like take a moment and do this. And we were like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's try that. And we would do it. And it's like, oh, that makes the scene so much better. So yeah, I've never really obviously worked with a celebrity when it comes to filming, but like this was a really great first experience of working with somebody who's pretty well known because she was so nice. She literally doesn't seem Hollywood. She just seems like an average actor who is willing to give and help and do anything to accommodate filming. And that was really great. It was a really great experience to have, and one that I will cherish. And I miss her because she was very nice.
Did she sing any Apple songs?
No, she didn't sing any Apple songs.
Damn it, I told
Sorry.
Bobby that was part of the clause for me to be a co-producer.
I think that might have been like really small print, or he must have removed that from the
You
thing.
have to have a talk to him about that. Okay.
We're gonna have a lot to say to Bobby after this interview.
That's right. That's right. And of course, did you get to meet Amy Steele or Kimberly Beck?
No, I didn't get to meet any of them because I'm pretty sure they all voice recorded their
Mm-hmm.
lines from wherever they are. I did hear though that Kimberly Beck really liked my role in this film,
Mm-hmm.
and that really makes me feel all happy and giddy and makes me feel connected to her. And I would love to meet her one day, but no, we have not. I have not met Amy Steele or Kimberly.
I'm about to meet Amy Steele at the end of next month at Frightmare in the Falls.
Exciting,
Yeah,
exciting.
I might even see if I put Bobby Hackman on the phone whenever I go up there.
Do it.
Yeah, I'll wear this. I'll introduce myself as her boss. So after all, I'm a co-producer, you know?
I'm a co-producer. What do you want from me?
Yeah. Well, I remember I went to Frightmare in the Falls last year, and um, I was involved in some films that. Well, I met Dave Sheridan, who was Officer Doofy in Scary Movie, and he was in costume. And I told him, I said that I'm a co-producer on. I forget the movie now, but he looks at me and he goes, "Technically, you're my boss." And of course, Felissa Rose of Sleepaway Camp was sitting next to him. He nudges her and he goes, "This is our boss." And Felissa's like, "Hi."
That's so cute.
Yep. So yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting Amy and asking her what it was like to kick Jason in the balls and live to tell about it.
Living the dream. Living the
Living
dream.
the dream. Yep. I think Bobby wonders if I'm going to get her to kick me in the balls. Well,
Living the dream.
I don't know whether unless you have a fetish for pain, I'm not
People do.
not
People do.
me. I work in the hospital. I see enough pain. I don't need to live it. But nonetheless, what's up next for you?
I am currently in a play for Long Island Theater. It's the musical comedy Murders of 1940. It's basically Clue, the movie Clue, but with
Hmm.
like Broadway executives. So some people are dying, and it's just wacky shenanigans finding out who it is. And I
Hmm.
play the maid. So that's exciting.
So you gotta go on Short Island as well?
Maybe, who knows?
So have you got to do was there a premiere for Victim No More that you got to attend?
I know Bobby originally wanted to have like a premiere somewhere, but like with like COVID and things and just trying to get the movie released at a certain time, we weren't able to do like a big premiere. So we actually did like a small premiere with me and like my family.
Hmm.
So I was able to show my family the movie first.
Hmm.
And that was really cool because Bobby was here watching other people watch it really for like kind of the first time. And my family's very loud and they very ask a lot of questions. My dad's sitting there like, where'd you film this? What camera did you use? What did you do this? And like my mom's like, stop talking during the movie. It was a lot of chit chat, but all my family loved it. Even my grandma liked it, and she doesn't like scary movies. But then she smacked Bobby and yelled at him. She was like, "How dare you kill my grandchild?" It was very funny watching my grandma yell at Bobby.
Good.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
So, have you gone to any of the conventions? And I know Bobby has done a few, you know.
Yeah, so I wanted to go to Creature Feature Weekend. I wanted to do that. And Bobby was like, "You can totally come if you want," but like literally the weekend prior, I was upstate New York filming a different for a different project, and like I had taken a week off for that, and my job would not let me take another weekend off, so I could not go to Creature Feature Weekend. But it looked fun. I wish I could have went. But I do want to go to something, one of these conventions, so I can like rep this shirt and bump elbows with some people.
That's
Get it on.
always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. You got any charities that you're passionate about that you want to plug on here?
Um, there there is this foundation that I'm thinking of. I just forget the actual name of it.
Butterflies?
No, no. Um, no, multiple sclerosis. My
Mhm.
uncle has a multiple sclerosis, and I forget what the foundation is called, but there's a charity for it. And again, it's the name's escaping me, but anything for multiple sclerosis, because that disease kills people, and there's really not much you can do about it. So anything that can really be donated to research towards how to at least get that to be better would be great, because my uncle is doing not well, but
Yeah, I'm
anything for
sorry
him.
to hear that. Yeah. Gee, too bad Bobby wasn't in that apartment across the way.
Too bad. We would have had some fun. It would have been a
Uh,
three-way interview.
oh, I would have had you like knock on his door and then immediately run back in here and
It would have been such a funny interview.
yeah, I mean, look at the shenanigans we could have had on the Zoom.
We'll yell at Barbie later.
Barbie Heckman.
We'll yell at her later.
There we go. There we go. So, are there any scary movies that you like?
Um, yeah, I love The Thing. That's a
Hmm.
great movie. There's this movie on Netflix called The Ritual that I really enjoy. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a very good movie. I like horror movies where I like the characters, which in a lot of slasher movies it's hard to like
Well,
your characters.
don't watch The Initiation then, or because none of the characters are likable in that.
That's also why I like Victim No More, because you at least I like to think that you like these characters and you don't really want them to die. I mean, people might not like them, who I don't know, but like when I was acting Kate as Katie, I felt like she is likable in a way. So when she dies, it's just like, oh, that's all I could get. That's all I wanted when I died, is people to go, oh, and not like, yeah. Because that's usually what happens in these Friday the 13th movies when people die. You're like, oh, thank God. I didn't want that reaction.
Yeah, it's gotten to that point where you start cheering the villain, and yeah, there's a
It's,
big difference between like I love the original Halloween,
mm-hmm.
but Halloween Resurrection, not the same animal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But but nonetheless, I know you got some acting stuff coming up later, so I'm gonna let you
Mm-hmm.
get to that. But it was wonderful having you come on here today, and
Thank you for having me.
I
Next
learned.
time we will bother Barbie across the hall.
You know what?
It'll be fun.
We got to do that. Yeah, we got
That'll
to
be a
do that.
whole other episode, is just us messing with Barbie.
There we go. Because
That's the April Fool's episode.
it's the April Fool's episode. Yep. Yeah. Oh boy, that's funny. But well, look what we learned today. We learned that you are the first person I ever met that's scared of butterflies.
I'm proud that I'm the first one.
Yeah, and you put that out here to the world now, and
Yeah, I'm so excited for that to follow me everywhere. So excited.
um,
I'm gonna have to go to therapy for that one.
there you go. And we find out that Jason doesn't have to use a machete on you, he just has to throw a worm at you.
It just could have get simpler methods. Simpler
Yep.
methods instead of a machete.
Yep. And let's see, what else did we learn today? Oh yeah, we learned that Bobby Heckman lives across the hall.
Yes, he does. He's a Barbie
Yeah,
girl.
he's a Barbie girl.
This is
Oh,
gonna be
Matt.
such a wacky interview for you to like summarize in like the info box.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun with that. Oh, trust me, I'm gonna have fun with that. And you will like Scotty McCoy, but yeah, I'm gonna tell a few things here.
Great. I'm so excited to talk about butterflies for the rest of my career.
There you go.
Great.
Bobby's gonna make a butterfly horror film, and you're gonna play the final girl.
I won't even need to act.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, just put me in a room with butterflies. It will be an Oscar award winning performance you get out of me.
Mm-hmm.
No one will compare.
What he's gonna do, he's gonna shoot a scene like in The Birds, you know, when all the birds are flying at Tippy Hedren, you know, and come at that. Only it's gonna be
I would
blood.
die. I would soul would leave.
Butterflies are gonna flutter out.
That's basically I went to there's an aquarium by my house and they
Mm-hmm.
just for some reason have a butterfly exhibit. And in the old days, they also had an exotic bird exhibit, but you
Mm-hmm.
had to go through the butterflies to get to the birds. And I wanted to get to the birds. So I would have to put my hood on, zipper it all the way, and have my boyfriend lead while I was tucked into his back as we walked through the butterfly exhibit. I like disassociated. I was like, nope, I can't do this. And then we got to the birds. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
everything's good.
I know I'm making light of this, but I had never heard of fear of butterflies before.
I don't know. I think how I explain it is that I don't like how they're unpredictable. Like I don't know where they're going. So like they could come this way, and since they're flapping so fast, they could like come at my face, and I don't know what to do. So I that's how I explain it is that they're unpredictable. I don't know where they're going. So I just if they're close to me, panic. I will panic. I don't know.
Wow.
Do a
Okay.
scientific study on me. I don't know, but
Okay.
it's a weird thing.
Okay. You know what? I'm not judging, but I've never heard of that before.
I'm unique.
Yep. I'd love to have you back on here at some
Oh,
point, you
thank you.
know, and yeah, this was a lot
I'd
of
love to
fun.
trauma dump more next time. Talk about my other fears that I have.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. And maybe, the next time, have you come on at a time when Poppy's home.
This is gonna bother Bobby and talk about butterflies, more fears. It's gonna be a weird episode.
Oh yeah. I'm sitting there thinking, I wonder he'll be home there at Christmas time, won't he?
I don't know. He has a hospital job too, so I'm not sure what
Yeah,
his
I
hours
know.
are.
Yeah, same here, I keep in touch with him about that hospital job because
I
I
think
have
it
a
should be an
hospital
April
job.
1st episode, an April Fool's Day episode. That's what I'm thinking.
There you go.
Just bothering Bobby Heckman.
There you go.
Sorry, Barbie Heckman.
Barbie Heckman. That's what we're gonna call him now, Barbie Heckman.
That's the episode title. It's Barbie Heckman. He's a
There,
Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
there you go. Perfect. Perfect.
Name.
Well, before I let you go, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Yes, I shall. So,
Uh, just state your name and
mhm.
say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
So my name? Okay. My name is Deana Naja, and we are on Greg Gilbert's Python Paradise.
Yeah, I like that. My name? No, somebody else's name.
I wasn't sure if it was your name, my name. I just had to get that out of the way. Don't judge me.
Yeah, this has been an interesting interview. I gotta say, I didn't know what to expect when I come into this. I'm like, this is awesome.
Unique experiences. That's what I give out.
I should show you some of my merch from the movie while I'm at it. Look at
Ooh.
that.
Oh, I like the snapback. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, more snapbacks. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yep. I got a couple of hats. Let me see. What else did he send me? Friday the 13th Part 2 magnet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Let's see. What else did he send me? This must have come out of it. This is like
Oh God.
yeah, this was the back of one. Oh, it sticks. Oops. No, it doesn't stick. Okay. Okay. It does has no back in it anymore.
Just
We got
kidding.
survival's a little pin.
Nice.
Yeah, and we have victim no more pin.
I have that pin too. It's on my wall.
There you go. Let me see what else do we have here. Another victim no more pin.
Yep.
I'm like, why didn't you send me the Amy Steele or Kimberly Beck one, you know?
I think I have those two. I have those two pins. They're
Yeah,
somewhere on the
I
wall.
don't have those, but I know he sent me some posters here too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep, they're all rolled up in here. Should I get them out? Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Let's see it's like an unboxing on here. I mean,
I mean,
you unpacked your butterfly fear, so I'm
you might as
unpacking.
well do it yourself too.
Yeah. So, oh wow. We have Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Nice. That is a good poster.
It is a good poster. I have my favorite Jason, and I have Miss Kimberly Beck herself in it.
Yes.
And we have, see what else we got here. Victim no more.
Oh, yay! We're wearing that shirt.
You know, it's funny from a certain angle, it looks like a paintbrush in his hand.
Yeah. If you look at it fast enough.
Yeah. Another victim no more one.
Two. Two is better than one. Woohoo.
Okay. I didn't realize I had two of them. I told you it's that gray hair he has, you know.
Makes him forget things.
Yes, that's what I'm figuring, you know, makes him forget things. But did he send you a bunch of stuff?
Well, I live across the hall from him, so I just steal things from him. He gave me that Victim No More poster over there right when the movie dropped. It's the spoiler one. Funny enough, actually, this picture over there,
Uh-huh.
that is a shot. Let me show you what it is. It's a shot from the movie. It's one of the final shots of me and Joe's dead body.
Okay.
And I really liked this shot. You can't really see it, but it's a glare. But my body is right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there I am.
I love the fact I can see me in the shot and I can see your lamp.
I'm trying, but the sun is making it difficult. But this is the cabin, and my dead body's here, and so is Joe's.
Yeah.
And I really like that shot in the film, so I framed it and put it on my wall.
So did Bobby Heckman give you the Scott Pilgrim versus the World poster?
No, I bought that for myself, but he likes it. He likes the poster as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
also have Ghostbusters over there as well.
the original?
Yes.
Because the original's the best one.
Yes.
Yeah. So does he send you random movies out of his collection too that he just wants to get rid of?
No, not yet.
Oh, gee, he did that with me and did it with Noelle Burger, so
No, he hasn't done that to me yet, but he is threatening me that he's going to sit me down and watch the rest of the Friday the 13th movies because I haven't finished all of them yet. And he's like, "We're gonna watch every single one of them, and you're gonna like it." And I'm like, but because when I was watching a few of them, I would send him live reactions of me watching it. So I would send him pictures of my face watching Friday the 13th. Like which movie was it? I think I was watching Jason Takes Manhattan, and there was the part at the end when Jason turns into like a child or something again, or something like that happened. I don't remember. And
Yeah.
I sent him a picture of like I was so confused.
Yeah.
I said there was a bunch of pictures of me going, huh? What? Like, it was a lot of random pictures. But yeah, just send him live pictures of me not understanding what's happening.
There you go. Well, I recommend part 4, the final chapter, and part 6, Jason Lives. I think they're the
Mm-hmm.
best 2 of the franchise. Yep. And I think Jason X, you could skip that. Too bad you didn't.
And see, you can't watch that by yourself. You have to watch it with really good humored friends, and you can find the funniness of every situation. I watched it with like 6 different friends who are all pretty funny, so we had a very good time watching that movie.
Jason X is the room of the franchise.
Hey, The Room's a funny movie.
Tommy Wiseau is my first guest.
That's fucking funny. I
That
love
that
that.
back in 2015, he was my first guest.
I love that.
Yep. Yep.
How'd that interview go?
Well, let's just say our station manager helped us get set up on it, and when Tommy Wiseau got on the phone, because these ones I did by phone at the station, and
Here is a reminder from Travis. Check and clean the
Sorry, that's my Alexa.
there you go.
She's done
Anyway,
talking
when Tommy Wiseau started talking, our station manager was looking through the window at us from Studio A with a "Well, who the fuck are you guys talking to?" look on his face. There you go. And if you want to see another one so bad it's good movie, watch Don't Go Into the Woods.
now. Oh boy.
Yeah, that that was so bad. I did a couple interviews from it, which I was happy to, but it was one of those movies that I had to get the Blu-ray of it because it's like I gotta look at this again.
This is a special case.
Yep, yep. So there you go. And of course, if you get a chance, watch a bunch of Neil Breen movies.
I got a lot of movies to watch.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Neil Breen, he's another case.
So many cases, basket cases we got.
Hmm. But for me, it all started with Tommy Wiseau. And look where it's led. It's
Look
led
where we
to
are.
it went from Tommy Wiseau to a girl that's traumatized by butterflies.
You're moving up in the world. Look at you.
There you go. There
No
you
shade to
go.
Tommy Wiseau.
There you go. Well, anyway, it was wonderful having you come on here today. I mean it. I'd love to have you come back on, and next time, yeah, play some Bobby pranks.
Barbie pranks. Let's go.
We can do that.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
having me, Greg.
Absolutely. Well, you have yourself a good day, and you'll love Scotty McCoy. So you'll have
Thank
fun with
you.
that one. Absolutely. Anyway, God bless you. You have a great rest of your day.
You too, Greg. Thanks for having me again.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.